you can't look at another actor and say मेरे को ऐसे करना है, वो होगा ही नहीं. आपकी कौन सी फिल्म कब रिलीज होगी, आपको कौन क्या ऑफर करेगा, किसी फिल्म में आपकी परफॉर्मेंस कैसे निकल के आएगी, you don't know. You can't follow a trajectory. You have to make your own path, and that can be lonely. And that can be frightening, but it can also be very beautiful because it's your own. I guess that's the price you pay for something being different, that it can also be lonely.
Hi, I'm Swati Chopra. Welcome to Tell Me All. Today, my guest has built a body of work that can speak louder than any hype ever can. Whether it's Delhi Crime, Mirzapur, or something quieter, you don't catch her acting. You just believe her. Well, today we're not just going to talk about the characters, but also about the women behind these characters. What grounds her, what drives her, and how she always manages to stay so true to herself. Hi, Rasika. Welcome to The Quint.
Thank you for that very lovely introduction. It almost made me emotional.
Rasika, I want to take you right to the beginning, and I want to ask you, what was that like for you? What were the ingredients that kept Rasika going in the beginning of her career?
I think a lot of delusion, to be very honest. I think that's a very important ingredient for to be able to sort of pull through the tough times.
Yeah.
And I say this half as a joke, but there is some truth, funnily enough, to this.
Yeah.
Because if I was to think through logically what the pros and cons of being in a profession like this are, I would never do this.
Yeah.
Really. Because there is so much which is uncertain. There is so much which is constantly changing. You cannot map a plan. If you do, in all probability, it's not going to work. You have to just sort of dive into it without much thought, which is pretty much what I had done. Now that I think back, I realize how difficult those times were. But, like it is with many difficult situations, you kind of find the courage, the sense of humor to ride it. To so many auditions in my first 7 years as an actor in Bombay, and many of these auditions used to be in this place called there's a restaurant called Shriji
in Oshiwara.
And there are these studios
Yes.
on top. Have you ever been?
Yes, I have.
And recently, in fact, I went there, and the moment I entered that space, the smell hit me, and it's so particular to that place that all of those memories came back immediately. And I used to go there almost every day and stand outside different studios for hours with some terrible makeup because I didn't know how to do makeup. And of course, that was not even a time where, you could think of sort of getting help from somebody to do makeup for you. Stand there for hours and just audition. And there was this joke that we had that, we've gotten so used to auditioning कि एक दिन कोई phone करेगा और बोलेगा मैम आपका अब हो गया, आप shoot पे आ जाओ ना. हम बोलेंगे नहीं sorry, audition पे जाना है. With stories like this and with a sense of humor like this, we kind of survived those times. And now when I think back, I'm like, I don't think I would be able to do that ever again.
Yeah. I think what you said, something very beautiful, was also one of the main ingredients apart from hope and delusion is also sense of humor. I really do think in the face of adversities, sense of humor really keeps you going, because even for me in the worst moments, sometimes I will talk about, oh my God, what's going on with me? And I'll end it with laughing, making jokes about it, and then you kind of center.
I think that's how most people live. That's how I've seen most of the women around me deal with tough situations growing up, and I always sort of admired that a lot. And then now when I look back to situations that my mother, my grandmother, her sisters were put through, I feel like, wow, they had an incredible sense of humor, and they really survived a lot while laughing and giggling and just making fun of themselves in that situation.
I think it's a great coping mechanism.
Yes.
I think everyone should have it,
Yes,
because we can't keep taking ourselves seriously all the time.
Yes, we can't.
We'll just be sitting on corner of the room saying, oh my God, my life.
And then it'll be all doom.
I also want to know about, do you remember the day you decided that this is what I want to do? I want to go to Bombay. I want to be an actor.
I sort of found myself in the Film Institute studying acting. And I say found myself because I didn't sort of go to it thinking कि मुझे actor बनना है. I actually went to it because I thought the Film Institute in Pune was a very interesting space for a variety of reasons. One was that it was the physical space was Prabhat Studios,
Yes.
and that's one of the first studios of Indian cinema. I was sort of very taken in by the legacy of the space, by the history of the
Yeah.
space. Stalwarts of Indian cinema had studied here.
Yeah.
You know, the second was that I was sort of mesmerized by the idea of an art institute where you can sort of be and sort of absorb things around you. Like you can sit in the library for
Yeah.
hours, look through art books. You can sit under the wisdom tree and do nothing and just talk rubbish. You know, they have these lofty ideas
Yeah.
that
Dream.
or dream or
Yeah.
discuss a film that you've just watched, and somebody would wake you up in the middle of the night and say, you know, we're short of we need two people standing in the background, can you just come and stand? So it's basically you felt like you were living on a film set.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
also feels like a community to me.
yes, it did. It
Yeah.
did. Third was FTI had a very sort of um, uh, interesting history, in my opinion, of student dissent. This was a place where people would speak their mind and they could sort of say something against authority if they felt like they were being wrong. So I was very impressed with that idea. These were the things that attracted me to the institute, and as you can
Yeah.
tell, none of these three
Yeah.
things is about being an actor.
Yeah.
उस आइडिया से आई वेंट टू FTI नॉट विद द आइडिया कि मुझे एक्टर बनना है, एंड डेफिनेटली नॉट विद द आइडिया कि मुझे स्टार बनना है. वो तो था ही नहीं. दैट वाज नॉट इन माय वर्ल्ड व्यू एट ऑल. एंड आई फाइंड माई सेल्फ इन दिस क्लास, एंड द फर्स्ट डे पीपल आर द HOD of the department said, why don't all of you introduce yourself and let us know why you're here.
Yeah.
And the guy standing next to me who went right before me, and he said, मुझे बचपन से एक्टर बनना था और मुझे मिथुन दा बनना था. And he meant it. He was a
Yeah.
die-hard Mithun fan. He had watched he remembered every frame of any
Wow.
Mithun film. Like you could quiz him on anything and he knew it, right? And that was his desire. I was like, oh, because, and everybody else had sort of a similar
Yeah.
sort of a thing. They hadn't quite articulated it like him. And I was like, am I in the wrong class? Because this is not what I had thought for
Yeah.
myself at all. I said, I've just come to study acting. I think about 6 months into the institute, there was a time, and I can't identify the exact moment,
Yeah.
but there was probably maybe a week or a month where I knew that this is it. This is something that I would want to do for as long as I can help it. And I remember articulating it like that to myself even then. This wasn't a retrospective understanding
Right.
of it, you know. And I was, I think, able to do that because I had done other things before. I had worked as a research assistant.
Yeah.
I had done, you know, all these wandering things. Anything that caught my fancy, I would do it. You know, somebody would say, this is a project that we are working on in Lucknow. And I had packed my bags from Bombay and gone within 4-5 days. And, you know, those are things that you do as a young person, which you don't... and I was I primarily worked as an academic research assistant. क्योंकि ये सब चीज़ें की थी मैंने, I felt like अब जो experience हो रहा है वो इन सब चीज़ों से अलग है. You know, I knew that this felt more like I had found a soulmate.
How nice, how lovely.
Yeah. The beautiful thing about a profession like ours is that nothing is waste. The more you try and do things which would not have come in the course of your life anyway, the richer I feel you
Yes.
become as an actor. The worry always nowadays is that, you know, as you become older and you get more sort of set in who your friends are, where you go, or the kind of places you would want to go to or not, or kind of start feeling nervous that my world is becoming smaller and smaller and more limited. And therefore I just absolutely crave shooting experiences which ask me to do something different from what the normal course of my life would allow me to do. And very often in Bombay, people come to you and say things like, लेकिन इसमें बहुत preparation लगेगा, almost apologetically, and I'm like, preparation लगेगा, चलो, let's do this.
So I think that is what an actor also needs.
Yes, it's. I mean, it's very boring to do something that you feel you know.
Yeah.
You know, if you get a script and you read it and you say, ये मुझे आता है, means, I mean, then there's no fun.
Rasika, talking of scripts, like you said, you know, every actor needs a script that kind of challenges them. Otherwise, what's the point? And what different are you trying to do? What are the kind of scripts that are coming to you? And the kind of scripts that are coming to you, what does it currently speak about the industry?
It's a mixed bag, to be
Okay.
honest, what's coming right now. Some very interesting stories which unfortunately don't have any funding. And
That's
they-
really a sad state of affair today in the industry.
That was, you know, a sad state of affairs even when I had started working. But what had happened at the time that I came to Bombay after finishing the Film Institute was that the smaller film felt like they could find the money. Because things had turned digital at that
Yeah.
time, and there had been the successes of, I don't know if you remember, Bheja Fry,
Yes,
and all these
yes.
films, which was the 1 crore film which did well. So there was suddenly this sort of positive idea that if I find a story which can be done in 1 crore, somebody will fund it. And a lot of production houses sort of came up to support the smaller film. But then the bottleneck was distribution. And we couldn't find a way to put these films out. There were good initiatives like PVR Directors Rare was one initiative under which a film that I had done like this, which was not even 1 crore. It was, I think we made it in some 30 lakhs. Nothing can be made. But those initiatives were not something that was sustainable. And then the streaming services came
Yes.
about, and I was like, okay, so now finally this is the space where an indie film can find a home.
Yeah.
So maybe you could or could not do a theatrical release, but there's a place where people can go and watch your film if
Yeah.
the word of mouth is good. Now that is also a crowded space, and that's also difficult. That's also algorithm driven, driven by wherever the money
Yeah.
comes in, always that
Everything
happens,
changes,
right?
yeah.
So so that has been a rocky ride for a small film
Yeah.
always, and again we are in that situation where
Yeah.
very few people are ready to fund it. I think the situation right now is that platforms are sort of functioning with a clear idea of what they want at a certain time, and that idea might change every 2-3 months,
Yeah.
but they're putting in the money and they have the say on that. And so the independent film, which was sort of an exploration of ideas, thoughts,
Yeah.
is unfortunately great to read as a script, but
Execution is a
many of
problem.
them don't find funding. Last week, a film that I was supposed to start, for which I had completely finished prep.
Okay.
I ran workshops and look tests and everything, and it's possibly gotten into a funding problem, and now with an indie film, I know that to get out of that,
Yeah.
many films are not able to do it. I hope things work out. In the series space, the kind of scripts that I'm reading are very varied.
Okay.
I think people are experimenting with a lot of stuff. I wouldn't say there's a pattern to it. Like a lot of people say, oh, aajkal to sirf crime. But the scripts that I'm getting are quite different from each other.
That's interesting then.
That's
Yeah.
it's interesting, but again, that's also, it's not like every series has funding. Like there's a series that I did 1.5 years ago, which is still not out, and made by a studio. So I thought that it wouldn't be a
yeah.
problem. All the productions that I've worked on, I have never felt that I'm working in a big budget production. We are always running to finish shoot. It's
Yeah.
not like there's time to really. I've always, in any production that I've been in, there hasn't been time to do anything. You have to be on top of your game to get this right. It's not like
Yeah.
everybody's floating around कि ये भी कर सकते हैं, चलो आज नहीं तो कल ट्राई कर लेंगे, ऐसा कभी भी नहीं हुआ.
Budget पे भैया,
I've
सब
never worked in
time
a
पे time
production
करना
which has
पड़ेगा.
done that. I do desire to do that though.
It'll
I'm like,
happen.
once I should be in a production which says कि आज हम सिर्फ एक scene shoot करेंगे. Because we are
That will be
shooting
the
like
day.
3 scenes, 5 scenes, sometimes 6 scenes a
Yeah.
day. And in the morning when I'm reading my scenes before reaching set, I'm like, should I be thinking about this one or that one? Because
Yeah.
they're on two ends of the script. One is in episode 1, scene number 3, and the other is
Yeah.
episode 4, scene number 60. And
Yeah.
so, you're wondering where your head is.
I remember the last time we met, I think it was for Mirzapur. And you had told me once that there was a time in the industry when I think you lost 5 films because the producers thought that you weren't sellable enough, right? Has that mindset changed today as you sit here in 2025?
Mindset towards me or
Yes,
generally
towards you,
actor?
or the fact that an actor needs to be sellable, or talent over star power? Have all those kind of dynamics changed? Has anything changed?
I think it has to some extent.
Okay.
I think people have started to value performance because also audiences appreciate that and have shown that they've liked something because a performance has connected with them.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people have understood the value of having a good performance. In this whole business, you find all kinds of people. And perception is something that's very important, and it kind of decides careers, but it's something that you have zero control over. So if somebody comes with a view of, I might have 2 meetings in a day where one person would think that I'm very sellable in their
Yes.
words, not in mine, because I don't look at things like that. Would think that I'm very sellable because I'm in a show like Mirzapur, which
Yeah.
is very popular. But I might meet somebody else on the same day who will be like, अरे maybe might be thinking कि इसने सिर्फ series में तो इसका बहुत market है, लेकिन films में नहीं. You know, everybody comes
Yeah.
up with their own thing to
Absolutely.
say.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the perception is. It's not one in
It's
everybody's
yeah.
mind. It's very
different for
variable.
different people.
So I just want to find the person who has a positive perception of me
Yeah.
at that particular time and is making something really kick-ass, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to be a part of it. And that's how projects happen, actually. That's how much happens when before you get cast onto something. So it almost feels like every project that comes to you is a stroke of luck. You know, almost feels like that. But of course, behind it is so many years of work and experience and all of that. Yeah.
Sometimes even after so many years, do you feel like it could have been simpler now? You know, I have such a great body of work. You know, I've reached where I have. It should have been simpler now. It can be simpler. Because as you're talking, I'm feeling, my God, it still feels like there's lots to do to, you know, get a film or a series.
You know, that's what I laugh about sometimes. I think back and I think that it was so foolish to think that it would get easier.
It doesn't.
It never does. And in fact, in one way, at least mentally, maybe it gets even more challenging because you feel you have a lot more to lose. And that might not be real. I mean, the things that you have attached value to in your life after all these years, actually, if you look at it, even if you lose it, it's fine. You know, but that's not how you see life every day. You know, you're like, oh my God, I worked so hard to build this and I'm going to lose this. And, you know, you start taking everything very seriously. And therefore, you feel like the stakes are much higher. And therefore, you feel like everything is harder.
Oh my God. So even when you achieve, it's not that simple, man.
Yeah,
Because there's more to lose.
And I was
then.
like, you know, I wish somebody had told me that when I was starting out. I wish somebody had said that, listen, what you're doing right now in your so-called struggling phase,
Yeah.
it's never going to get, it's
Simpler.
not going to feel easier. is I guess the best way to put it.
I guess the biggest difference now is that the world knows you, you know, in people's vision, people's memory, because of all the great work you've done. I guess that's what is simpler, at least. You know, now, अब मुझे जानना नहीं पड़ेगा कि who I am, you know, like the initial मैं कौन हूँ type.
I mean, yeah, see, on one day you look at it like that, but on another day you might feel like, oh my God, I meet so many people who tell me that, you know, I would watch any show that you are in. And then you feel like, oh my God, I can't make a wrong decision. I can't take a show which is not superb.
Who is your sounding board when you feel like, I shouldn't make a mistake? Is this script a mistake? Should I do it? Do you have like a sounding board, you know, amongst friends, family, anybody?
But actually, you said it absolutely correctly. Sounding board is correct because they only listen. They have no advice to offer because you can't offer advice. So Mukul, my husband,
Yes.
is a big sounding board for me.
Yeah.
And I think we both are for each other because we understand the business. We are both
Yes.
actors. And so that's, I think, very valuable in my life because I feel like I have somebody to talk to and that somebody's at home.
Yeah.
He's available and is expected to listen to me.
Yes.
You know, so unlike friends who you have to check if they're doing,
They're free. Are you
if they're
free?
around, and
Yeah.
you know, all of that. I'm just thinking of Mukul watching this interview and saying, you're taking me for granted. Fortunately, I'm surrounded by a lot of people who make time to listen to my work problems and are very kind about it because they've been friends I've had for years, and sometimes I feel like I'm saying the same thing to them for the last 20 years and they've been patiently listening to me. But I've also noticed that, you know, actually I know what I want to do. So I pick the people to talk to
Who will
who I
agree.
know will give me the advice that I actually want. They're
Yeah.
actually just sort of reconfirming what I have already decided.
Yeah, I remember in an interview you had said that our marriage is a space of respect. You know, in the lives that both of you have, being in the industry that's probably extremely hectic, it's not always that the schedules are matching, you're always at home, everyone's always on the move. How do you really hold space for each other?
Did I say that in an interview?
Yeah.
Wow, that must be a really good day. No, but jokes apart, I mean, that sounds very sorted, and I don't want to give a wrong impression of what everyday life in a marriage is.
Yes.
It's constantly sort of navigating who you'll find,
Yeah.
which side of the person you'll find that day, you
Yeah.
know? So it's not always as easy as that statement might sound. But it's fun. I
Yeah.
find it interesting to be with somebody who's known you for a while. It's almost like, in fact, I can check on them about myself.
Mm.
Because there are things about myself I've forgotten. You know? I mean, only yesterday I was complaining to Mukul about how he's just doing his own thing and I'm just doing my own thing. And I was like, we need to find time to
Yeah.
sort of do things together and all of that. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we do it. It changes up every time. I guess what I was saying was I kind of enjoy working through it. Sometimes it's not easy, but I think mostly it's been fun.
Yeah, no, I absolutely get it. I think the lives that all of us are leading right now, it's such a hustle culture. Like, I wish somebody told me tomorrow, listen, just slow down. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
okay to
Yeah.
pause. But now it's just ingrained in our bodies, in our systems. It's a natural response to get up and say, what am I doing today? I think as an actor, you've played with all your characters. You know, I've seen there's such versatility in the roles that you've chosen in an industry where there's a high chance of being stereotyped, right? Was that like a conscious decision for you? You were like, were you being offered roles that felt very similar and you're like, no, listen, I might be put into this box. I cannot allow that to happen. Or was it really like people saw you differently every time?
I was actually never afraid of being stereotyped.
Really?
I was like, "Pehle kaam to de do." You know, I was like, if people have a certain perception of me, and because of that,
Okay.
they call me first for a certain role, that's not a bad space. you
That's
know?
an interesting way to look at it.
And I
Yeah.
always felt that I could do something different with the part anyway, because scripts are different. No two people are the same. No two
Yeah.
roles are the same. No two directors are the same. It's shot differently. It's written differently.
Yeah.
Your co-actors different. It'll be different. I was like, if they look at me in a particular way, let me be the first person they call when they have a role like that.
Listen, I think it's a very refreshing take because most people, when I talk to them, they always say, you know, is industry mein stereotype karte hai. I didn't want to be, so I had to say no. I think it's a very interesting insight into this.
But I have now begun to value variety because it happened to me, and it happened in a very beautiful way.
Yeah.
I wasn't seeking it. I wasn't consciously looking for variety. In fact, I was like, I'm okay.
Jo
You
aa
know?
raha hai, haan.
But I've begun to value it because I got Manto, Delhi Crime, and Mirzapur all sort of around the same
Yeah.
time, and they came out like one after the other, and they were all completely different roles.
And the kind of versatility, you know, you were lucky enough to get in the roles that you were saying. And, you know, we often speak about a character that was a breakthrough moment for you as an actor, right? What is that instance in your life that was a breakthrough moment for you as a person?
Oh, that's a tough question. I haven't yet become good enough to implement what I've understood, but I'm trying. And I think I had a breakthrough moment where I was able to acknowledge to myself and articulate to myself that to keep the peace in any room is not my responsibility. That if there are two people who are seemingly in a situation of getting into a conflict, and it has nothing to do with me, I will feel like it is my responsibility to make sure that either that doesn't happen or that conflict doesn't become evident to everybody around,
Yeah.
or that I have to somehow show my support to the person who is kind of at a disadvantage in that in that
I understand
situation.
that.
And that's a lot to take on unnecessarily, you know. Do a lot of disservice to yourself and to the people around you by being that. It's not a great way of being. I'm not glorifying that at all. I'm not saying that that means you're very sensitive. No. Professionally, it sort of put me in very difficult situations many times. I like to do my work in a certain way, and I don't want that to be a problem for anybody else. And we've all, as women, found ways to get our work done without and having to navigate all those ki madam is difficult and oh acha now to she will be like, you know, and all of that. And people are dying to believe that about actors in any case. That's a narrative they want
to believe.
want support for and confirmation of. So you anyway start at a disadvantage in this situation. But how to then be able to say that this needs to be done in this way without and if it gets into a conflict, it's okay. And that's not my responsibility. It's not because I asked for it. It's because they also didn't know they had to do it. So, you know, and it'll get resolved one way or the other, but at least I asked for it.
Do you also feel it's about being seen? Like you were saying, I asked for it, but you didn't do it in any case, and it should have been done because it's something normal that should have been done, right? Do you also feel like in an industry like this, sometimes people don't see people for who they really are, or the actor that they are, or the people that they are, and they kind of have this, in terms of iske liye ye and iske liye wo?
It's a tough business in that
Yeah.
sense. It's tough to sort of, because all of us work with different people all the time.
Yeah.
So to find energies which align, or to find a way of working which aligns is not easy.
Yeah.
It's not a given, and it should not be expected of every situation,
Absolutely, yeah.
And especially creative collaborations are the hardest because you're giving a piece of yourself to that work.
Yeah.
And so you're very emotionally invested. I've understood that more and more as I work. So I've stopped expecting it without having worked really hard at it.
Yeah.
But I've been fortunate that in many situations there've been great creative collaborations. In fact, most of my projects have been superb creative collaborations, and I really feel like I've been spoiled. I really feel like
It's a good thing. We rather have that.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So there are some that I've had to work hard
Yeah.
towards, but it's not easy.
It's also just situational, sometimes not everything is in everyone's hands. So of course there are good, there's bad, there's ugly, there's all of it, right? Not just in the film industry, but also in all our lives personally, right? If you had to look back at your journey and you could think of something that for you proved to be really challenging at that point, and you really had to be, absolutely resilient to kind of overcome it, what is that instance that comes to your mind? Professionally, personally, anything.
I think it was the time that I lost those 5 films. That I remember clearly because I really felt at that time that, am I barking up the wrong tree? Should I be not doing this anymore?
Because when you need to question your craft, then it gets very disheartening.
Not question my craft, but
the
I
industry.
mean, I don't think I had ever a doubt about what I am bringing to a
table.
scene. I was strangely very confident about that.
Not strangely, rightly so.
No, I mean, it got proven to be right, thank God. But otherwise, I'm always somebody who second guesses myself on everything in life. You ask me, should we have a meal after this interview is over? And I'll be like, I don't know, maybe should we? And I'll say, okay, no, maybe we should not. Huh?
Yeah.
You ask me, should we go stay at this restaurant? Should we go to the one across the road? I'll be like, I'm not sure. But should we stay here? Okay, no, okay. I'll constantly be doing this.
Yeah.
It's very irritating. But
also do it.
I can't, and I'm not extremely confident. I wouldn't call myself an extremely confident person. I sort of second guess myself many times on many things. And did I do this right? Could I have, all of that. This is one thing that I was always very self-assured. I was like, I love this so much that I know my way around it. And I might make mistakes. I'm not saying that I'm flawless at all. I'll make mistakes, but it'll be my world.
We're nothing without those mistakes, actually.
Yeah.
Rasika, what really grounds you at a time when you feel like things are getting very overwhelming for you? Whether it's work, whether it's personal life, anything. What is it that grounds you?
One thing that has held me in good stead is all the main sort of anchoring factor being the need to do good work. The need, it's about the work. It's not about anything else around it. And even there have been times when I've tried to not make it that, because I feel like, let's do this film because it'll get me a certain kind of visibility. It'll, this opportunity has come. It's a big budget thing. But I've not been able to take it away from the core, which is I'm here to do a certain kind of work because I was interested in it. Many people who told me, don't do small parts. Wait for a big part. When I first started acting, they said, wait for a big part. Don't do small parts in films. I said, listen, I don't know how to introduce myself to people except through my work. So advice taken, point taken. Maybe you have a point, you have more experience in this line of work than I do. And they were very nice people, well-meaning people. They were not coming from a space of gyan giving and just that.
Yeah.
They meant well. But I don't know how else to do this. I don't know how to walk into a party and sort of engage in a conversation with somebody. It's not my thing. You put me on a set where do one or two scenes and I can be really good friends
Yeah.
with that person,
Yeah. Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah.
But I can't do this from an interaction at a
Hmm.
party or whatever. So this is how I connect with people. So I'm going to do that. I took that advice. I think that life hasn't turned out badly.
Turned out beautifully.
But what if I had not chosen that? What if maybe I would have got something which was a starting out as a big lead role, which would have put me in another
Yeah.
sort of situation, maybe, and maybe
Long
that.
journey ahead, though.
Kya pata? So I don't know if the
Yeah.
decision was right or wrong,
Yeah.
but it was for better or for worse the decision I took.
Right now you were just saying that there have been some very well-meaning people who gave you this advice. Now, whether you took it or no is, of course, I feel like we also lead by our gut, our instincts, and what we believe in, right? But who are those few people in the industry that you feel have really supported you, have been extremely kind to you in your journey?
Most of the directors I worked with,
Nice.
they were just so appreciative of the work I
Yeah.
did, and they didn't really have to be. They went out of their way to compliment me. Like, I still remember when I did this film Kissa. Maybe it was my first day of shoot and my first day of shoot with Irfan, both. And there was
How many actors can say that?
yeah. We were sitting in a car and Tiska and Irfan are sitting in front and I'm sitting piche. I had previously done a film with Tiska in which I had a very tiny role. And she was one of the main parts in that film. We were both mehendi walis. I didn't think it was small. So I went and learned how to do mehendi. From somebody I used to live in Versova
That kind
then.
of dedication, huh?
But so fun, yeah. And I had got all my cones, one little bag.
So cute.
And Tiska and I are entering a scene together, and then we were talking about the scene, how we're going to do this or whatever. And she realized that I had done all this work, and she was just so warm and generous and appreciative of it. And that moment in Kissa, when we had that scene where Irfan and Tiska were sitting in front, and when we were shooting for that scene, I clearly remember Tiska turned to Irfan and said, Irfan, I just want you to, and they were friends.
Yeah.
They had worked together before. He said, Irfan, I just want you to know that this girl sitting behind is a very, very special actor. She didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And I was almost intimidated by Irfan. Not because of the way he was, such a illustrious body of work, and I was so much in awe. More, so that was more.
It's more of love and respect than
So. And just that sort of broke the ice for me, And so many people, and Anup, the way the director of Kissa, Richie Mehta, would, before I would do a scene in Delhi Crime, he would say, I have nothing to say to you, Asika, I know you will do you already know what I want you to do.
How nice is that faith that people have in
and you really need that confidence as an actor when you're going in front of camera, and people went out of their way to do that to me. Pankaj, I had worked with Pankaj in Powder. Many years before, about 9 years before we filmed for Mirzapur, 8 years before we filmed. I still have him on my phone as Pankaj Powder. And whenever we do talk, the first few minutes I'm laughing because he's like, what happened? I said, because I just realized that I still have you on my phone as Pankaj Powder. Irfan and Nawaz had such a they were very established actors, had done so much work by the time I worked with them. They never made me feel like they had done so much more work than I had. It was always a feeling of we are co-actors in a scene, we are equal. And that was very special to have from people around you, from your co-actors who had so much more experience than you did. They made you feel very like the scene is between two people, and it's not about what I have done and what you have not done or whatever, And so that really felt very beautiful. Like, most people I worked with were wonderful.
That should. May you always be surrounded by these kind of people.
I hope so. No, I've had some bad ones also, but unfortunately, it wouldn't be right to say that.
But you spoke about Irfan Khan, and I'm just reminded of a very recent video of Babil. I don't want to talk about that video, but as an actor, somebody who's a part of the industry and been through a certain kind of journey, and today you're sitting here, what does this journey feel like? Does it sometimes really feel as isolating?
It is going to be isolating. It is a very unique journey. Every actor's journey is different from the others. You can't look at another actor and say, मेरे को ऐसे करना है. वो होगा ही नहीं. आपकी कौन सी फिल्म कब रिलीज होगी, आपको कौन क्या ऑफर करेगा, आप किसी फिल्म में आपकी परफॉर्मेंस कैसे निकल के आएगी, you don't know. You can't follow a trajectory. You have to make your own path, and that can be lonely. And that can be frightening. but it can also be very beautiful because it's your own.
Yeah.
It's not like anything else. I guess that's the price you pay for something being different.
Yeah.
That it can also be lonely.
A day from the set that is kind of imprinted in your memory like it happened today.
There was this one scene that we were doing in Kissa, which was one of the final scenes that my character had.
Okay.
And I thought it was a very important scene. It was the final scene that she has.
Okay.
And for people who haven't seen the film, this film gets into a magic realism space. And that's actually a very tough space for an actor because you can't, there's no room for logic. It's only about what you experience. That scene when we shot it was with me and Irfan was a dud. There was, didn't feel like anything.
Okay.
And I was devastated. That film was very important for me. Especially the last bit, I was like, my life is over.
I can imagine that. I can
It was like
imagine that.
everything is gone. I still recall that moment when I was sitting next to Irfan. I was desperate to say that this has not worked and what do we do? I can't put my anxieties onto a co-actor, especially a senior. I don't know what he's feeling out. And Irfan was sitting on the terrace and doing his thing or whatever. So I just went and sat next to him and I just looked at him like, I'm like, please. And I guess he must have understood. He was very sensitive and very intuitive. I just looked at him like, I didn't say anything, but I was devastated. So I was like, please, can you do something to make this work? That was the thought.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he said, and in that, there was a way of sort of saying, I understand what you're going through. It's terrible, but there's nothing you and I can do about it. So this is what you have to live with.
Yeah.
You have to learn to live with this.
Yeah.
That was the sort of exchange that I understood that we had. That film, we had no time. We had shoestring budget, nothing. But the director must have understood that we had not got what we wanted, and he asked for a reshoot. Unheard of on that shoot.
Yeah.
Like we were dying for every second on that shoot. Asked for a reshoot a couple of days later, and I came back to do that. And when we start the scene, Irfan's character just holds Neeli's hand. Neeli's the character I play,
Yes.
before the scene starts. And and Anup, the director, changed the choreography just a tad. And when he changed the choreography, I was thinking, isme kya different ho jayega, But obviously, both Irfan and Anup had much more experience than I did. And they knew that this would change things. And I can't tell you that scene transformed from feeling nothing to every take. We did about 8 takes of that scene because it was technically difficult. There was a track and, focus and etc. And we had characters moving and everything. Every take felt different. And they felt something ajeeb, which was supposed to be, it was not something I could have sat in my vanity or sat
thought about
through
how to do
rehearsal and said, ye experience hoga, hum ye karenge. To. I cannot forget that moment. It was, for me, confirmation that every detail counts. That other people know this, that craft is made like that. But the funny bit about this story is that when I watched that scene on screen, it felt like nothing. And therefore, the next learning is sometimes you feel so much during a scene, it doesn't necessarily translate into a visual.
I feel like you're actually reliving that moment. I can feel the passion in it and the way your body language has been while narrating the story. I feel like you relived that day.
It's crazy.
I'm going to ask you 5 very quick questions. We call it the rapid truths. First one memory that lives rent-free in your mind.
My time at the Film Institute.
A character you didn't want to let go of.
Neeli in Kissa.
A fear you're still learning to face.
The uncertainty of the business.
One thing you wish women in the industry were told more often.
You're the boss.
Oh, I love that. Something you love about yourself now that you didn't before.
That I am very particular about the small details in everything that I do. In the middle, it was a bother to me because I think it was a bother to people around me sometimes, and I sort of didn't understand that. Now I understand that, so I always tell people, I said, I'm going to be like this about everything. So if it gets too much for you, just tell me, I'll keep quiet or I'll find another way.
Thank you so much for talking to me. Thank you for always being so thoughtful and, going beyond the surface in our conversations.
Thank you.
Really. Thank you.